Chapter 13. My toes are cold again. The thought settles into me like a splinter, the kind you can feel but never quite see. Half awake, I sit up and scan the darkened room. Windows rattling, the ancient window pines and gnarled shadows dance along the bare walls. Historical, grand, elegant. I don't care what my parents call this house. It's scary. I remember when Rachel said when I showed her the picture of it. She mashed her lips into a tight line and tried to stay positive, but it didn't take a genius to tell how she really felt. She thought it was old and run down too. And if Rachel thought that, if the girl who kept a smile on her face even though she had lice in the 4th grade wasn't positive, then it couldn't be just me. I try not to think about what Nina said in the cafeteria yesterday, that this whole neighborhood is built on top of a graveyard. Just imagining the bodies being dug up is terrifying. I can't imagine how scary it was when they tried to claw to the surface on their own. Yanking at the too small quilt, I stretch down to cover my ice cube toes. I'm just settling back into my pillow when I hear it, the crying. Ooh. It starts out soft, then builds to a fiending wail that seems to be coming from the hallway. Jonah? I whispered into the darkness. Is that you? Maybe he got confused and can't find Mom and Dad. Maybe he's sick. Maybe. Mashed footsteps ring throughout the halls surrounding me. They sound like boots or something with heels. Definitely not Jonah's bare feet. I pull the quilt up to my chin, terror overpowering my need for warm toes. Please go away. I cover my ears to drown out the crying. It's not Jonah. That sound. It's higher pitched, like a little girl. The footsteps stop outside my door, and my doorknob rattles. It shakes harder and harder until I can't contain my scream any longer. It bursts from my throat, and I leap out of bed, scrambling towards the window. A low mumbling follows me, and then the cold rush airs back. It lifts the back of my pajama top and tussles my hair. Graceland. I stumble over a pile of boxes, falling onto the floor as my legs get tangled up in the broken cardboard. Lightning flashes outside, brightening up the corner of my room, and Reno. His horrible wooden face is turned towards me, and something wet is trending down by his pale cheeks. Tears. His mouth is moving, clicking out Graceland over and over again as the liquid screams down the Hollywood in the fat rivers. No. I scream as the room begins to spin around me, and the familiar crackling slowly builds into my ears. A deep rumble of thunder echoes off in the walls, the popping sound growing too loud that I can feel it. It's snaking through my veins like a dark energy. An energy I can't control, can't escape. I'm going to faint. And that horrible doll is going to do something to me. And everything goes black. Chapter 14. Tessa, can you hear me? A voice drifts past somewhere into the darkness. I try to open my eyes, but they're too heavy. Maybe we need to call an ambulance. The word ambulance brings me around. I've always been afraid of those things. There are horrible screeching and blue-red lights that flickered through the streets. I've never been in one, but I figured that they're pretty scary inside. I'm okay, I mumble. My lips are thick, and making words with them is hard. I go to lift my head, but it won't move. Just give me a minute. She needs more than a minute, Lily. Can you get her some water? It's Dad's voice I recognize. It's unfortunately, I recognize that he sounds scared. Something cold and wet sloshes over my forehead, and I gasp. My eyes finally find the strength to open, revealing that the bright red cheeks of my mother. Oh, Tessa, honey, are you okay? Okay? I'm not sure. What happened? Dad asks. He's standing right next to Mom, but unlike hers, his cheeks aren't flushed. They're pale. I lick my lips, and I can peel them apart. What I saw in my room was so awful, so terrifying. I'm not even sure I can say it in words. Just thinking them makes me shiver again. I point to the corner where Reno was sitting. Mom, Dad, Jonah, all follow the invisible line my finger cuts through the air. Reno? What are you doing in there? Jonah scampers across the room and grabs a doll. Reno's mouth gasps open and his black eyes settle onto me. No, don't bring him over here, I shout. Look at him. Do you see the tears? Jonah lifts Reno higher and higher and I watch as Mom and Dad inspect him. Mom looks back at me, her eyes wide and startled like a rabbit's. What tears, Tessa? Honey, I think you had a nightmare. A nightmare? No. I wasn't asleep. I was wide awake and that doll was talking. My brain spins for a minute as I try to remember the rest of the details. The crying, the footsteps, the door rattling. Then Graceland. I don't even know what it means, but I'm positive that that's the word Reno was whispering. I shudder and pull my covers up to my eyes. I can't stop the tears from coming. Our new house is horrible. I hate it. Mom and Dad ease down into my bed. Their faces are full of something I don't like. I think it's sadness, maybe pity. I cry harder because I don't think that they believe me. He was crying. I saw him. And there were footsteps, and my doorknob was rattling. I hiccup out through my sobs, and I knew that the door was bad. I knew it. There, relax, honey. It's going to be okay. No matter what happens, we're all here together now. Mom pats my leg and smiles barely brightening her pink face. I force myself to look at Reno. The tears on his cheeks are gone, and now his mouth is still closed. Reno always freaked me out in Florida, but he never came to life. Why now? Why in Chicago? Suddenly I have an idea. I sit upright and look at Jonah. Did you hear it, Jonah? His messy brown hair is sticking straight up in the back, and he's got a thumb in his mouth again. He just stares at me. Jonah, answer me. Did you hear the crying and the whispering? I hold my breath as I wait for his reaction. He heard it. I'm positive he did. Jonah was the first one in this house to say that there were ghosts. The first one to sense their presence. If Reno was somehow responsible for all this, surely Jonah heard him tonight, too. Right? Mom soothes some hair off Jonah's forehead, so his eyes are visible again. Please say you heard it, too. Please say that it just isn't me losing my mind in this place. Jonah looks straight at me and shakes his head.